Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's me, your host from Everyday, and I am so excited for what we've got lined up today. Now I love diving deep into the science and engineering behind everyday things, but sometimes the everyday can get a little extraordinary. We've all seen cute pets, but have you ever wondered how much the most exclusive pets in the world cost? Forget designer dogs or rare cats for a moment. Today, we're diving into the world of luxury pets, specifically the most expensive snakes you can own. It's a world where genetics, rarity, pure visual awe collide to create living works of art that command prices higher than some sports cars. We're going on a journey to uncover the secrets behind these incredible reptiles. What makes a snake worth tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars? It's not just about a pretty pattern. We're talking about complex genetics, years of dedicated breeding, and sometimes a 1 in a million mutation that nature just happened to cook up. I've done the research, crunched the numbers, and I'm ready to break down exactly what makes these snakes so valuable, how much they cost, and the fascinating stories behind their discovery. So get ready to have your mind blown. We'll be looking at everything from snakes that look like they've been dipped in lavender paint to ones that shimmer with all the colors of the rainbow. This isn't just about price tags. It's about appreciating the incredible diversity and beauty of the natural world and the human dedication it takes to preserve and enhance it. All right, kicking off our list is a snake that looks like it came straight out of a fantasy novel, the Lavender albino ball python. Now, the name itself gives you a pretty good clue. Most albino animals are white. Most albino animals are yellow. Most albino animals have pink eyes. Most albino animals have red eyes. That's because they lack melanin, the pigment that gives us dark colors. But this guy is different. It's the result of a specific recessive gene that instead of just eliminating pigment creates this stunning ethereal lavender and this deep golden yellow coloration. It's absolutely breathtaking. Okay, so it's a pretty color. What's the big deal? In genetics and breeding, isolating a specific desirable trait is like striking gold. The lavender albino gene is recessive. You need both parents to carry it. Even then, you're not guaranteed one in every clutch of eggs. Eggs in incubation. It's a numbers game, a genetic lottery. Patience, expertise, and a bit of luck. This rarity and specific makeup drive the price. When they first hit the market, prices were astronomical. Like the first ever color TV, a groundbreaking thing everyone wanted. Early breeders invested years pairing snakes and tracking genetics. They were pioneers. The initial high price reflected that effort. So, cost-wise, a few hundred, several thousand. It depends on the intensity of the color. Next up, we have a snake that looks like it was painted by a storm. This is the Monsoon ball python, and it is an absolute game changer in the reptile community. When this morph first appeared, people's jaws hit the floor. Forget the typical spots and blotches you see on a normal ball python. The Monsoon has an incredibly intricate pattern, chaotic and almost digital looking. It's a series of fine, interconnected lines and squiggles that look like lightning strikes or a weather map during a hurricane. The story behind the Monsoon is a perfect example of surprise and discovery. It wasn't something breeders were trying to create for years. It was a spontaneous mutation. Basically, one day a breeder hatched a snake that looked completely different. This is the holy grail for breeders, discovering a brand new gene. It was an electrifying moment for the entire community. Because it was brand new and unproven, they had to test if it was inheritable. The original breeder waited for the Monsoon to mature, breed it, and see if the trait passed down. It turned out to be a recessive gene, harder to reproduce. This scarcity plus the unique pattern created a perfect storm for huge prices. Demand was instantaneous and overwhelming. Every serious collector and breeder wanted in. It was like the release of a new iPhone, reptile nerd frenzy. The first Monsoon sold for eye-popping sums, upwards of $75,000, and some reports even quote over $100,000. If the Monsoon is a storm, our next snake is the beautiful calm after it. Meet the sunset ball python. This snake lives up to its name in every possible way. Imagine the most brilliant, fiery sunset you've ever seen. The deep reds, the vibrant oranges, the soft yellows, and now imagine that painted onto a living creature. That's the sunset. Its colors are so rich and saturated that it almost doesn't look real. It's an absolute showstopper. The sunset morph is what is known as a T-positive or tyrosinase-positive albino variant, combined with other genetic influences. In simple terms, while it's a form of albinism, it allows for the production of red and orange pigments, which are usually suppressed. The result is this incredible blushing effect, where deep orange hues, red hues wash over the snake's body, intensifying as it matures. A baby sunset is pretty, but an adult sunset is a masterpiece. Like our other expensive friends, the sunset gene is recessive, which adds to its rarity and difficulty to produce. But there's another layer to this story. The original line of sunset ball pythons was notoriously difficult to breed and establish. There were challenges with fertility and hatchling survival in the early days, which meant that for a long time, there were very, very few of them in the world. This created an extreme bottleneck in availability. Now, for something completely different, we've talked a lot about color and pattern, but what if you could change the fundamental texture of a snake? That's exactly what happened with the scaleless ball python. And yes, it is exactly what it sounds like. This is a snake born without scales. Instead, it has a soft, smooth, almost velvety-feeling skin. It's a bizarre and fascinating mutation that completely redefines what a snake can be. The scaleless trait is the result of a recessive gene. The original scaleless snake was produced by accident in a breeding facility. When it hatched, breeders were probably shocked, but they quickly realized it was something totally unique. It has classic ball python markings printed on a smooth canvas of skin instead of scales, which gives it an incredibly strange and beautiful appearance. Now you're probably wondering, is that healthy for the snake? Don't they need scales for protection? This is where responsible husbandry becomes critical. Without scales, these snakes are more susceptible to scratches, abrasions, skin issues. Their care is much more stringent. Keep their enclosure immaculately clean. Ensure there are no sharp objects they could rub against. This level of care makes them a pet for experienced keepers only. But for collectors, exclusivity is part of the appeal. Let's move from the complex patterns and textures to something of pure, simple, and elegant beauty. This is the blue-eyed Leucistic ball python, often called a blue-eyed Lucy for short. This snake is the definition of pristine. It is a solid, snow-white snake with no pattern whatsoever, punctuated only by its striking crystal blue eyes. It's so clean and perfect-looking, it almost seems like a porcelain sculpture. Unlike albinism, which is the absence of melanin, leucism is a reduction of all types of pigment. This is why you get a pure white snake instead of the yellowish white of an albino. And it's also why the eyes retain their blue color instead of turning red or pink. It's a different genetic pathway, but the visual result is, to many, even more stunning. It's the closest thing you can get to a mythical white serpent. What's fascinating about the blue-eyed Lucy is that it's not the result of a single gene. It's a superform that can be created by breeding two different, but compatible, co-dominant genes together. For example, breeding a Mojave morph to a lesser morph can produce blue-eyed Leucistics. It's like a genetic recipe where you have to combine the right ingredients. Okay, we're moving away from ball python morphs now and into the world of truly exotic wild species. This is a legend, the Boelen's python. Found only in the remote high-altitude mountain forests of New Guinea, it's often called the black dragon or the rainbow serpent. Jet black body, but when light hits it just right, it explodes into an iridescent rainbow. Not pigment, structural coloration. Microscopic ridges on scales refract light like a prism or the back of a CD. As it moves, shimmering waves of blue, green, purple, yellow dance across black scales. It looks unreal. What makes them so expensive? Factor 1, habitat. Cool, foggy, inaccessible cloud forests. Extremely hard to reach. Exportation now heavily restricted. Legally available animals are incredibly few. Factor 2, breeding. Replicating their high-altitude, cool, humid environment is extremely difficult. For decades, captive breeding was nearly unheard of. For our final snake, we're heading up into the canopy with another iridescent wonder, but this one trades black for brilliant blue and green. This is the high blue-green tree python. As their name suggests, these are arboreal snakes, spending their lives coiled on branches in the rainforests of New Guinea, Indonesia, parts of Australia. While all green tree pythons are beautiful, the high blue variety is in a league of its own. Normally, these snakes are a vibrant emerald green, but some individuals, through genetics and locality, develop an astonishing amount of blue. A high blue specimen isn't just a few flecks. It's a dominant wash of turquoise and sky blue across the back. Combined with iridescence, they look like living turquoise jewelry. The rarity and unpredictability of that blue is what makes them sought after. Unlike predictable ball python morphs, the blue here is polygenic, influenced by many genes. You can't just breed two blues and guarantee blue babies. It's a gamble. They undergo a dramatic color change as they mature. Born bright yellow, sometimes red, they perch low in the undergrowth. As they mature, they move to the canopy and slowly turn green. So there you have it, the lavender dream of the albino ball python, the living jewel of the high blue-green tree python. It is wild these animals command such incredible prices, but it's about more than just a price tag. It's a world built on passion, patience, and genetics. Each snake represents years, sometimes decades, of dedication from breeders pushing the boundaries. It's where art, science, and investment meet. Breeders aren't just making pets, they're genetic artists, preserving and enhancing nature's diversity. A one-in-a-million mutation like the Monsoon, a multi-generational project like the Sunset. Each snake tells a story of discovery and dedication. It gives new appreciation for complexity and beauty in the animal kingdom and the human drive to explore it. Which snake surprised you the most? The Scaleless, the Iridescent Boelen's python? Comment below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like and subscribe to Every Day. Thanks for watching. See you next time.